6 yards. He was wide open.
After the turnover.
He's got a man.
Harburg going deep. Caught.
Nebraska just beat Purdue 28-10. And the first thing I want to start off with, I'm seeing a few podcasts, YouTube channels that are talking about Mike Mazzccua being off the team, went home, or left on a flight, and assuming that he's off the team. And this is the things that kind of frustrate me. And I don't care what anyone's going to say about me, but I feel like I got to say something because I do this because I really, truly love Nebraska. This team means a lot to me. And I'm not going to say anything that's going to make them look bad just so I can make some money. And I've already seen it from a couple of channels. They did it before where they announced Knighton was off the team and left the team and was fired, and bluntly just said they were fired and had no idea what was going on. And the reason why it bothers me, because this hurts recruiting. When you got recruits looking out there thinking, man, if this is going on, I don't want to go there. Even if they find out it's false, they might turn around and go, I just don't want to deal with that. So I don't like making it look bad, even if something comes up and it's probably true, but it's going to hurt Nebraska in a recruiting way or any way. You're not going to see me air it. I'm just not going to do that because this team means something to me. I do this because I like talking about Nebraska. I don't do it to make money. I have a full-time job. That's the reason why I can't come on here every day. I'm not one of those that promise I'm going to give you content every day, because there's not content to tell you every day unless you want to make things up or just put something on just to get you to come on here and watch. So that's not going to be me. But Micah Mazzccua is not off the team. He is not there. But he is not off the team. So I don't know why people are announcing he's off the team, talking about, well, if he left, then no one's going to leave in the middle of the season. He's got to be off the team. And I don't know why you're going to speculate and announce things that you really don't know. Just because you hear it on another YouTube channel, you hear it somewhere, doesn't make it true. You could find out real easily if it's true or not. And I even do it all the time. You could call the Nebraska Athletic Department and they will tell you if something is true or not. You could say, hey, is Micah Mazzccua off the Nebraska football team? If it's true, they will tell you, yes, it's true. If not, they will tell you, no, it's not. Or if they're not allowed to tell you, they'll be telling you the coach will be making an announcement here soon, or whatever the reason is. They will not lie to you. They will tell you. And that's how I found out about Knighton not being fired. I called the Nebraska Athletic Department. They told me, no, he is not fired. He's not off the team. And so I went on there to try to save. I didn't want recruiting. We got a big recruit from Knighton coming in, for the 25 recruiting class. And I didn't want to lose him thinking, oh, wow, Knighton's off the team and he goes somewhere else. And even if you find out it wasn't real, then him deciding, well, I just don't want to deal with that. And so I had to get on there saying it. And I still got flack from everybody because I got on there trying to tell everybody it's not true. So I'm doing this again. I don't like hearing Micah Mazzccua is off the team. He left. So he's got to be off the team. No one's leaving because of that. That's not true. He is on the team. Now, what's going on, we do not know, but I'm not going to sit here and speculate. It could be something big. It could be nothing. It could be something personal. No matter what it is, I don't want to speculate. To me, if it was something that important, that big, we would have already heard about it. And the Nebraska Athletic Department would already have news on it, or they would have made the remark, hey, there's going to be news on it coming up. So don't speculate that he's off the team. Yes, he did not make the trip to Purdue. And so he obviously did not play, but he is not off the team. And I verified he is not off the team as of right now. So I wanted to get that clear. Now, into the game, I wanted to talk about how the game went. So, it didn't start off very well. And you did see a lot of mistakes at the beginning. You could tell it was probably the first road game. Some calls, some officiating calls that questionable. That pass interference call they called on Fedoni just shocked me, and it looked like it shocked Matt Rule as well, because he didn't touch the guy. You're allowed to get in the way. He didn't touch him at all. How you could make that call, which took a touchdown off the board to Ramir Johnson, I just have no idea how you could do that. and I don't know what's going on. And I'm sure Matt Rule, they get to if you guys don't realize it, the head coaches could put some tape together or send in to the Big Ten, to the conference on some questionable calls. And the officiatings do have a criteria they got to meet and do get punished in their own way. It's just not announced to everyone. They just don't do that. I kind of wish they would. Maybe if they did that, they probably wouldn't do some of the things they do. But I don't know why we're getting some calls like that. I mean, that was kind of ridiculous to see when mainly when Fedoni didn't even touch him. And so how do you make that call? I don't know. But I kind of again I saw penalties on both sides of the ball. Are they making the right call or did they miss a call? And it was on both sides. So the officiating this year hasn't been good, but I'm not talking about it hasn't been good for Nebraska. I'm talking about it hasn't been good overall for any team. You even saw Rule lose his temper to the point he got a 15-yard flag, and you just don't see that. That's not Matt Rule. Matt Rule doesn't do that. He's not Bo Pelini. You might expect that from Bo Pelini. You don't expect that from Matt Rule, and he's got to take up for Nebraska. I like that he's taken up for his team, and so sometimes you might need that. But I was kind of impressed that Nebraska did put a second half together. Remember, we haven't been seeing the second half. Dylan looked like Dylan Raiola that he's been looking, poised, calm, doesn't get rattled much. Doesn't mean he's perfect, but I saw that he with him on this team, man, we got some to look forward to as the years go on. He's a true freshman, guys. Keep that in mind. His first ever road game, and it's going to be big. His next one's going to be at Indiana. That's not going to be a walk in the park. That's going to be struggled. And then after that, it's Ohio State. And he's just going to keep getting better and better. And the thing is, I think he's going to be able to handle it. I see the rest of the players, some of the other players maybe having a harder time handling some of the road conditions more than I'm going to probably see in Dylan Raiola. So you could just tell the kid is, his head on his shoulders is just a little different level than almost any quarterback, let alone a true freshman quarterback. So that was good to see. It was good to see Ja'Cory Barney get in a little more into it. It looks like the more he's learning, the more plays he's learning, the more involved he's getting. He's going to be electrified all through this year. We even saw Carter Nelson get involved. Our freshmen, if you guys want to just look at some of the true freshmen we're seeing on this team, it's good to see. And like I said, you're going to have some mistakes here and there. You're going to have maybe a holding call or something you probably shouldn't, or jump off sides. Yeah, you don't like it. I don't like it. Them unforced penalties that you're kind of saying we need to eliminate. But again, we had 0 turnovers. So again, we won the turnover battle. And so it's good to see. I think we've won, if I'm not mistaken, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I think we've won the turnover battle in every game so far. Talking about a turnaround from last year. And I said that in my other video, my last video. We got to learn how to win, and we got to learn how to win the close ones. And even though it ended up being 28-10, I predicted 35-10, so I wasn't too far off. But even though we won 28-10, it was actually closer than we thought. It was a 7-3 lead in midway through the fourth quarter still. And so in a way, they kind of won a close game. It wasn't like a last second winning 13-10, but they found a way of moving the ball, getting in the end zone. And I even said that in my other video that if you give Dylan Raiola a chance to win this game, I believe he could do it. He's already proven in the 2-minute drill that he could do this, that he could go down and score. And honestly, we should have had a couple more scores, especially in the first half, but we didn't. Again, we still are struggling on special teams, especially field goals, and it wasn't all John Hull's fault. The first one he just missed. Rule even said he's kind of a 50-50 kind of guy because he's new, but he's 50-50 from anywhere on the field, but he's got a real strong leg. So, they could line him up for a 50-55 yarder, and you're probably looking about the same results as you're going to get at between a 30 and a 40 yarder. And so he's still learning, but everything's learning. You go the snapper's learning. Bashini's probably the only thing that's a fixture on the special teams on the field goal kicking. So we had a couple of bad snaps on a couple of them, which led to some of the blocks you saw, which is not on the kicker, which was not on John Hole. He's going to get credited with a block kick because that's just how the rule is. It's no different than a quarterback throwing a pass right to the receiver, hits him in the hands and bounces up, and the defender catches it. He still gets put down as an interception, even though it's not his fault. Same on the kicker. But we do need to get that going. As you know, in this league, we got to have a field goal kicker. You got to have a field goal kicker. These games are going to be close. You see how much it's close, even with Purdue. No doubt next week's going to be real close. We're going to have an undefeated Rutgers team, most likely going to be ranked. So we're going to have another chance to win and beat a ranked team, which Nebraska has not won against a ranked team. And I think the last 25 ranked teams they played, they've lost. I think going all the way back to 2014, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 2013. And so, what can they beat Rutgers? They're going to have to play better than what they did. Rutgers, which is a team that I said was going to beat them anyway, and I know it is at home, but honestly, now I'm really thinking it's more about how is the defense going to hold up? How's the defense going to play more than I am the offense? And you thought we would have never said that at the beginning of the season. I think with Dylan Riley on the team, with some and even these true freshmen, I think they're out there just having fun. And if we could get some of these seniors and all that to step up and just start having fun and just doing, like I said before, they're 111, just doing what they need to do. It's supposed to be passed off, have confidence. The one who's supposed to take it is going to take it, and you just do what you're supposed to do. And if everybody does that, we'll succeed and we'll win. And I expect that's probably what Rules keeps trying to pump in their head. And it's a little bit at a time, little bit at a time. We're going to start seeing more and better and better. And I'm expecting as the season goes on that by the Iowa game, we might win that 21-20 game. We might win that 21-18 game, 24-21 game. And so we still got a chance to win 7 or 8 games. I said that before, but don't be surprised if you don't lose to Rutgers. Don't be surprised if you lose to Indiana, and don't be surprised you lose to Ohio State and you're 4-4, and you're going to be just like me. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be disappointed. But the back half probably looks a little easier than the first half did at the beginning of the season. We thought the first half was the easiest part, going to be 7-0. People thought I predicted 6-1. And right now we're seeing that we got some players on the first half. So Rutgers is a good team. Illinois is a good team. We saw that. Indiana's a good team, might even be the better of the 3 I just mentioned. And obviously we know Ohio State's a good team. So you could easily be 4-4, but you could end up being 5-3 or maybe even 6-2. You could still be 7-1 after them first 8 games, but I just don't see you beating Ohio State. I feel like at best you're probably going to be 6-2, but I would kind of say 5-3. And then I really believe you could beat UCLA, Wisconsin, and Iowa, and you could even beat USC. I don't think that's a total loss. By then, Dylan has had more and more. The team's getting a little better and a little better. That quarterback's a more of a pocket passing quarterback, which the defense does a lot better. So it's not totally out of the aspect of them winning that game. So it's a possibility. Will they? Right now, I probably would give the edge to USC, mainly being away. But no doubt, I think that they could beat UCLA. I think that's a win. And right now, I would take them beating Wisconsin and Iowa. So there would be 3 more wins. Other than that, I thought the offensive line did well. We didn't hear Gunner's name. I always said when you don't hear the name, they're doing their job. Okay. When you don't have them called out, it's kind of like even same with officiating. You don't talk about the officiating, they did a good job. When you have to talk about them, then something went wrong. You don't usually talk about it when they did a good job. The only one you really talk about it does a real good job are usually the running back, the quarterback, maybe a receiver. But kind of behind the scenes, which is the blocking, the offensive line, Yeah, they had their moments. They're still young, but you got to remember Mazzccula's not in there. So and now you have Gunner in there instead of Corcoran. So we have a little some injuries and some other things that's replaced 2 or 3 of your 5 offensive linemen, which is kind of what we had last year. And you can't expect things to just roll along like they always done when you have that. But I see because of how Rule and this staff coaches, you could see these guys coming in and making plays. The final touchdown you saw for Purdue, and I know a lot of people were disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed too. I wanted it to be 3, but they had all the backups in. And the good thing about the defense, you could tell it's backups because they're not single digits. And so they're all learning and they all made good plays, but also Purdue made some decent plays themselves. Some of them throw Carr made was, I even went, wow, ain't nothing you can do about that. Catches were good, but they had a lot of penalties. They had more penalties than Nebraska did. I think they had what, 13, 14 penalties. I think they had as many penalty yards as they had yards combined. But overall, I thought, you got some young guys in there. That's good to see. You didn't have to play your starters all the way to the end. You even got Harburg in there at the end. And I think as time goes on, we're going to see more and more of Harburg in these games. And don't be surprised you don't see him out there running the read option, maybe the belly option, pass or whatever. I'm waiting for that where Harburg comes in, and you might see it when you really need it, like against Rutgers or Indiana or Ohio State, where when he comes in, everybody's automatically thinking run, and he does that, belly option pass. Oh wow! And you're going to see Lloyd or somebody wide open, Nair wide open. So, overall, I'm happy with the win. The years we put up, each win is a happy win. And again, it's not going to be easy. Next week's going to be tough. Probably have a prediction video coming out, but wanted to kind of give my reaction on top of wanting to make my remark on Micah Mazzccua and state that Micah Mazzccua is still on the team, and Rule will probably make an announcement on Monday about if anything is going on. He's not going to do it during press conference on the game press conference, but he just didn't travel with the team, and it could be anything. It could be a family thing. It could be just him taking some time off. So please don't speculate. If you're a YouTuber for another team and all that, and you do that, I don't have a problem. I have a problem with someone that swears up and down they're a big Nebraska fan, and then they do this to make money. And I kind of wonder, are they really Nebraska fans? You get a lot of people now that start channels and say they're Husker fans because they know how we are. We're passionate, so we're going to watch it, and they do it just because they want to make some money and all that. And like I said, I don't do this for money. Like I said, I don't really make any money on this. Yeah, but that's why I still work a full-time job. I get up and work 60 hours a week, and that's the reason why I can't do this every single day, which I'd love to do, but realistically, there's not something to talk about every single day. You could probably talk about something every 2 or 3 days. I'm not gonna announce something that I feel like is gonna hurt the team in any way. Even if it is true, I'm not gonna be the one to announce it. I couldn't do that. It's not gonna benefit me enough to throw my team under the bus. That's for sure. So again, guys, great win. We'll have that video out for the Rutgers game here probably in the middle of the week. And until then, go Big Red.